Okay, Steve, you second that?
Yes.
Then, okay, motion been made, second to go ahead and approve the claims of $230,997.10. Motion carries.
And here's Allied for the health insurance, the weekly.
Okay, we have a claim coming through for our Allied weekly health insurance. Total funding on that claim is $47,008.33. We have $20,607.82 for medical, $28,071.63 for pharmacy, with a credit of $1,671.12, making up the total of $47,008.33.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second it.
Okay, motion's been made second to approve allied claims of $47,008.33.
And here is for our holidays for next, oh no, I'm sorry, not holidays, for the commissioners' meetings.
Did you have a chance to look at the resolution 2021-27 outlining the meetings of the Adams County Commissioners?
Yeah, Tuesday, July 5th. Well, yeah, what's that?
It'll be resolution 28, sorry, because council changed
It's
numbers.
2021 what?
It'll be 28,
28?
yes, sorry.
So we're skipping Tuesday, November 9th. Is that election day? Is that why we skipped
I
that?
really want it,
Yes.
but if it's on a Wednesday, it's because we're off on that Tuesday.
Well, we go from Tuesday, November 1st to Tuesday, November 15th.
Let me look at that. I don't have it
Yeah.
in front of me.
We still have 4.
That's because you got over here the night, you got the back side, because the front side is your regular meetings at 10, the back side is the Tuesdays of council,
At
you
11?
guys have at 11.
Okay.
I see.
But there is Wednesday, November 9th will be on a Wednesday because we're off on Tuesday because of
Gotcha.
election.
Right.
But I
Okay.
think that's the only Wednesday. Is there any Wednesdays?
So there's 5 meetings in November.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, the way
Yeah,
the
because
month
the
falls.
first one, yeah, it's right on the first of the month. So we're gonna hit with
It'll be
5.
28, yeah.
No meeting on Tuesday, February 29th. Okay.
It'd actually be February 1 to February the 15th. Right there.
Yeah, 1 and 15.
But it's February the 8th, it's on the back, Stan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's caught, yeah.
Oh, okay, because that's,
It looks right to me.
Okay. I make a motion to approve.
You okay with it, Steve?
yes, I'll second that.
Okay, resolution number 2021-28. Motion's been made and seconded, and we go ahead and approve the schedule of meetings for the commissioners. Okay, Christie, anything else?
That's all I have.
That's all you got? Brad?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Brad, welcome back.
Thank you. I am back. I brought the nice weather with me.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Would you continue it through this weekend?
It doesn't sound like it. And I would say I would like to go back, but I probably won't. The first thing I have 2 permits today, and they are both Indiana, Michigan Power, just 2 different locations, kind of the same work. I don't know if you want to do them both at once or just do them separately. Since
What do you
same
recommend?
company.
Are you recommending we approve both?
Yes, yeah.
We can
it's
do
both
it
with
together,
I&M,
since they're
so-
both I&M.
Okay. All right, the first one is located on 500 West between River Road and 800 South. Basically, they're getting rid of a bad pole, putting in a new pole, and then it'll be a shorter length between the 2. That's all they're doing on the first one. Second one is on 1100 North between 000 and 100 East. And they're going to install a new pole in the right of way, and then they're going to remove an old pole in the yard and take the entrance and put it under. So both of them are really pretty simple.
Okay, gentlemen, we need a motion on that. Rich, got any questions?
Second.
Motion is made, seconded. Brad, do we go ahead and approve those permits to I&M?
So the only other thing, really, to give you some updates, of course, we're finally done mowing. So the mower and tractors have been cleaned up, put away. Of course, we're preparing for winter. The V plows have been going through, so now we're starting to go through the other equipment, checking batteries, fluids, all that kind of good stuff. We're getting ready to start up the tree crew. Generally, when it's really warm out, try not to send the guys out on 80, 90-degree days to cut trees. So we're actually getting the bucket truck ready, which once again, thank you guys for allowing us to do that. We're gonna have the boom all going over, and we are gonna go do some safety training. We can actually go right over to Nesco and Bluffton and do it. So it's very
good.
convenient.
Good.
Yeah.
And then the one other thing I have for you is an update, 1200 South for the sheet piling riverbank stabilization project. Started out slow. They were struggling a little bit to get some of them to go in. Last Friday, they finally got far enough. They started going well, and they got 19 of the sheet pilings in last Friday. So I don't know, if it goes well for them, they should be able to finish up this week, at least with the sheet piling part of it. So if you guys get a chance, go down that way, go check it out. It's very interesting. The whole process is interesting. So,
Well, I know when you took us down there to see what was going to happen, yeah, it was interesting.
so yeah, they're finally making good progress on it. They got the tile that was going across the road. They've got that replaced. So they're doing pretty well now.
Is that road still closed?
Yes, that road is still closed. Like I said, I hate to put a time frame on it. We got rain coming in the end of this week, but I'd say at least 2 more weeks, because once they're done with that, then they gotta do the guardrail and all that, so.
How many of those sheet piles are there?
128,
128.
yeah. And it was interesting
They only
yesterday,
had 19 in?
they were able to do 19 in one day.
Oh, I
Up
see.
to that point, they were not going in as well,
Okay.
yeah. So no, they're over halfway done now.
Okay.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
misunderstood you.
Yeah.
I was thinking along the same lines you were.
I thought,
So I
wait a
should say,
minute.
they were able to do 19 in one day, so that was a really good day for them. Yeah, they're over halfway done now with the sheet
Good,
pilings.
good.
And that's all I have. So,
That's short and sweet.
yeah,
Very
yep,
good, all right. Hey, thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, man.
Rick, you're on.
I
Morning,
I just
Rick.
have 2 things about more. A while back, if you guys remember, we changed out the fire compression board over the courthouse. It turned out to be a little less. The bill was for $12,962. We got a credit back of $3,000.
We did?
Yes, so it was $9,962 for that.
Cool, that's great. Okay.
I guess really the only one other thing, I just want to get some clarification on what you want to do. Tomorrow's the 10th. Are we going to leave the doors as they are or after tomorrow, or shut the other ones down?
Well, we had some input on some alternative methods, and I think we need to discuss that a little bit more further, Rick. Don't you guys? Did you get that? You got that email? I think we need to further discuss that before we make a decision on what we're going to do.
Yeah, I guess I didn't look at that.
Yeah,
So just leave them like they are.
leave them like they are for right now. Yeah.
Some of us don't get to go to Florida for the weekend.
Okay. Everything else going okay?
Dan's got a question.
What?
Just so you know.
I think Dan's got a
Oh,
question.
Dan?
In your discussion, gentlemen, please look at the fire evacuation, how the doors, because the west end, those doors are gonna need to be opened by somebody if they're locked to allow evacuation out. So whoever's office is there, that needs to put in the fire evacuation plan that they're gonna be responsible for opening up those doors if they are locked. If they're not locked, then it's not an issue, but it's been brought to my attention and something you guys need to discuss. If you keep them locked, then you have to think about for fire evacuation, that the offices nearest those doors, part of their plan is they have to open up those doors. So I just want to bring that to your attention, and you guys understand where I'm talking.
Yeah, you got that same email probably too, didn't you, Dan? Possibly?
Well, I was over here and there was someone took me down there and showed me.
Okay.
But I think it's the same issue.
Okay.
So if they're locked, it just needs to be incorporated into the fire evacuation plan for those officers close to those doors, that they need to prop those open.
Okay.
And if you vote to leave them unlocked, then it's not an issue.
Which door has to be unlocked, I guess?
And help me out.
You're actually a bit confused, Sheriff. It's the east end of the building.
It is, that way. I pointed east.
And it's not, the fire drill is not an issue. Everybody goes outside and that's not a problem. It's the tornado drill. When everybody goes down to the lower level, that doorway between the rec center lobby and going into, that's a locked door. And if it is locked, then nobody from the rec center could get down to the lower level in case of a tornado drill or an actual tornado. So that's the situation the sheriff's talking about.
Correct.
So as far as egress and everybody getting out of the building,
For fire, we're fine.
we're okay getting out of the
Just the tornado
building?
drill, we're letting the rec center go down into the basement.
Right, right.
And one of those two offices down there, Ed?
The ones you talked about was either the recorder's office or the surveyor's office.
Surveyor's office, to incorporate that into their tornado drill, that they need to see about propping open that door so the rec site can evacuate down into the basement.
Okay. Good thoughts.
Now, when you say basement, is that the floor down here or is that down in
The
We're
lower
talking
level
about the lower floor, not where the equipment is at.
okay, so
IT room and stuff, just, that's a.
That floor there, okay, all right.
they can get down there, they'd have to go through the gymnasium.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's true
that
too.
door is locked, but they can go down there, and then you're right down on the floor. You just have to get through the gymnasium to get down there. Because that door there, we can't lock because of fire. The one right over here to the west side,
Okay,
leaving it, that will put you right down here on the first floor, so.
okay. Well, we'll discuss that and see if we can come up with an answer for him next week then.
All right.
Okay, very good. Thanks for bringing that up. Mary. Your turn.
How is everybody?
Are you trying to, you're testing our temperature, are you?
Yeah. This is Cindy with Appraisal
Thanks, Cindy.
Research, and we're here for the cyclical reassessment contract
Okay,
for the next 4 years. This is the only bid that we've received, so there is no competition out there.
So you gotta make it easy on us, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there is competition, they just chose.
You got your
not to.
knife
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah, I do this week. Didn't have it last week. Still works.
The official bid opening knife.
This will be an opening night.
Yeah. We ought to retire that, maybe.
Maybe that's what we can get them for Christmas, that engraved one.
Yeah, there you go. Good thought, man. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll give you one when she's done, she'll give you one, okay?
Okay.
Gentlemen, if you'll look at page 3, that would give you the information on the pricing for the bid with the breakdown.
Okay. I was gonna kind of give you an overview and she can correct me where I've, misstated something or if I've said, haven't mentioned enough, but, for the cyclical, they do the new construction, they do the commercial, the industrial, they go out and they have been, Tim, who's been taking pictures as well. And, they do the ratio studies for us. And what am I missing? Oh, and the appeals, yes, the appeals, which, that's for any taxpayers that appeal properties that we cannot settle in-house. We go to the PETA board to take care of, but yet Dudley has sat with me this year to help do the appeals on the ones that are willing to come in and kind of meet without going to the PETA board. I'm missing.
Not really. Basically, a little bit of an overview of what it is we're doing. We're assessing all the real property parcels in the county of Adams. And the way the state has mandated is we do 25% of the properties every year by property class. So we do a section of the county for each year until the 4 years are complete. And then the cycle repeats itself with a new contract, obviously. We are reviewing all of the commercial, which is the commercial industrial exempt utility properties. We also review the res ag if requested. As Mary stated, we are doing the new construction for the commercial and industrials and as needed with residential and agriculture if they need help. The county is doing that portion themselves, so they're saving a considerable amount of money. If they need assistance, obviously we give them, they consult with us and we help them as needed. We are taking photos of every parcel in the county for them to review from with an aerial. And gentleman right back there, Tim Peace, is the gentleman that's taking those photos, plus he's also picking up your new construction along with another gentleman. And then, as Mary stated, at the end of the year, when your sales are submitted to the state, then we do what's called a trending study, which trends your values up or down depending on what the market is doing. So that's a little bit of an overview of what we do. We've been in the county for many years.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't have that information. I just know it's been on Don's watch.
Is there any change basically in the services from what you've done in the past?
Nothing.
Okay.
And I always ask that question before we bid it out, or she bids it out, is there anything different you would like for us to do?
Okay.
And if so, then, and we do have some things in here that say if requested.
Right,
Nice.
right.
Not being charged for those, but
Yeah.
if an issue would arise, we had a little bit of an issue last year where an employee was ill, and we did step in and help out a little bit. But only if Mary asked us to.
Right,
Okay.
because right now we are training 2 employees. One has been here, I think about 2 months, month and a half longer than the other one, so, once everybody gets trained and they're catching on really well, so, and really quickly, so, I know that, Cindy and Tim and the other gentleman have been a good resource to help us through. And things are going really well, so I'm sure that'll continue on.
Mary, when you budget that, the contract amount is paid each year, right? Or do you pay it on a monthly?
We pay every month, we pay,
Every month you pay this?
we have like 4 line items, like they do pictures, they do the cyclical, they do the res, ag, commercial. In appeals, yeah, so every month we,
It's broken out into 48 months because of the 4-year
Okay,
cycle.
that's what I was
Yes,
wondering, yeah, that's.
evenly.
yeah,
So she,
yeah.
there's no surprises. She knows what she's gonna have to pay everybody.
yeah, it's always been, yeah. This year, it's always been the same every month for most of those line items, other than like pictures. I know Tim, if he takes a lot of pictures, of course, we're gonna pay more that month because he's taking more pictures that month than maybe what he did, the month before. So there is some fluctuation a little bit, but it just kind of depends on how everything comes out.
But as you can see, it's not to exceed a certain amount, so.
Right.
Once we hit that cap.
Right,
Right.
right. Just so you guys remember, Don is still, if we haven't been using him a lot, but Don, I just want to put out there too that, if he's a contract as well, he's not doing this stuff, but he's, just kind of trying to help us here again until everybody gets acclimated to their jobs.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me, gentlemen?
I know when he came out to our house to take pictures, we had all our screens out and the place was a mess, so he voluntarily went and took other pictures and came back later when things were put back together, so,
Right.
he's very polite and appropriate,
Thank
and
you.
so,
Thank you, Tim.
We
He's our
appreciate
newest employee. He's been here since June. He's done a
Yeah.
terrific job.
so we appreciated that.
And if you're familiar with Jeff Keith, that lives in the county, this is Jeff's son, so.
Yeah,
And I'm sure
Very
you're
good.
aware of that, so.
Yeah.
A little secret on him, yes.
yeah,
Chip off the old block.
yeah, I went to school with Jeff.
Did you?
So,
Good guy. And he's still working for us some too, when he can in between the farming, so.
good.
Typically, what we do on a bid type situation, are you feel comfortable enough to make a decision today, or do you want to
Mark, do you want to look over it quick or anything?
look over, I think maybe
Yeah,
you ought
we'll
to
table
table
the
it for 1
contract,
week.
I'd say,
Till next week.
yeah, take
Yeah,
the
we're
bid
gonna-
under advisement, let me look
We're
over
gonna
the
table it
contract.
until next week,
Good,
so we'll get a chance to look over it a little bit more in depth.
good,
Yeah.
all right, sure. Sounds good.
Do we keep a current copy of this contract in the auditor's office?
I believe
Should have,
so.
okay. Yeah, we
I
should
mean, I
have.
keep a copy, and yeah, I mean, it's always been done, in the past, so yeah, I'll give them a copy.
Yeah, if you got any further questions, gentlemen?
Nope.
We'll look it over and make a decision in next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay with you, Mary? We'll make a
Yes.
decision next week?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I'll
very good.
just,
Appreciate your time.
No
Cindy.
problem.
Thank you
Thank
very
you, gentlemen.
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
thank you for. Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda, Angela Wilson, see her? And Gerard Curry, is he with you?
No, he's had to work third shift.
Okay,
I'm here to let you guys know that I am the treasurer and secretary at Country Acres Association. It's the trailer park outside of town
right,
behind Walmart. For the past 2 years, I have been doing my best to get it cleaned up and get everything in order and stuff. I had it going good for a year, and this past summer, it just went downhill. I was wanting to know if I could possibly get help from the commissioners or the town, city, on like giving fines on the property owners that do not want to clean up their properties yourselves. I have one trailer that's halfway burnt. It's not been touched in 10 years. I have another trailer, the roof, half of the roof blew off and last winter, and it's not been touched at all. I need those trailers demolished, but the owner will not do anything with them. He just wants them to sit there. And I need help. I'm trying to get stuff cleaned up out there and didn't know if you guys had any way of helping at all.
We
on
currently don't
enforcing
have any
this.
ordinance with that. It's something we've looked at and considered, but I don't know.
well,
Currently,
I think first of all, does the association have any guidelines within its legal language
oh,
to assess fines?
association does, in the association rules, it does not, it says that there will be fines, but to enforce it,
Oops, my fault.
they're not, people don't believe you can enforce it, and people don't want to legally obey by it. Just like, they're charged once a month to keep the electric going for the well pumps and the sewage plant. Well, some of them say they don't have to pay it because they own their property. No, this is association. If you want to keep water and be able to flush your toilet and use your drains and stuff, we need that money to pay the bills, the electric bills, and to repair any lines that bust. And so I'm asking to see if I could get any kind of help from the commissioners with this.
Wonder if it'd be something through the health department, maybe?
Should the health department be notified first?
If we could,
You could consider, an ordinance for, cleaning up trash and debris in the event that the health department determines that there is a condition that's unsafe or unsanitary to public health. And so I think the health department would have to make that determination, and then under a county ordinance, you could probably, go in and assess fines. As far as actually doing the cleanup, I don't know what funds you would do that from or how you would recover them.
Right.
But that's something that we could check with the health department and see if they're willing to go out and do that.
would it be like in combination of the health and the building department?
Probably. So I know we had an ordinance like that under consideration several times.
Well, I know the health department has done this before, and they've sent letters to every property owner stating that things needed to get cleaned up and whatever was in violation, but nobody done with it.
Right.
And I can't have that. I can't have nobody doing nothing. Because as everybody know, we have a bad name out there, and I want to change that. I don't want it to look like a dump,
Well,
and I can't do it on my own.
no, does the association have any funds to hire legal counsel to represent the association? Because I think in their,
Some funds, yes, but it's very slim when you got some of the property owners saying they're not gonna pay nothing.
do you have an attorney now for the association?
I have spoken with an attorney.
Okay. I would have the attorney contact me, and we'll see what, find out what the association can do on their own,
Uh-huh,
and then we'll see what the county can do from their perspective.
okay. All right. I'll say I just need the health department or somebody to enforce those fines.
I know years ago Fred Sugar represented the association, and now I can't remember. I know I helped the association years ago with some of their bylaws, I think, but I don't represent the association, and I can't if the county was going to be involved.
Right. So I know I have two guys that are willing to help.
Help as far as cleanup or?
Yeah, and try to enforce rules. But it's hard when the president himself is one of the rule breakers. He's the one with the two trailers that he won't do nothing with.
Yeah.
And I just need help on getting him to do it, because I can't force him to do it because he overrides me.
Well, I think probably, like Mark said, why don't you just start with step one? Have your attorney contact Mark, and we'll see what we can work out.
Okay,
But yeah, if it's a health issue, then that creates more of an urgency.
Yeah.
Well, the health department has authority under their own ordinance and under the statutes to enforce, cleanup if there's a public health issue. So,
if the mosquito issue is awful in the summer,
Okay.
terrible. I mean,
but it has to fall under
carrying
the
your
purview
leg.
of public health. Not just unsightly conditions. It has to fall under the purview of public health for them to have authority.
okay. All right. Okay, I can look into that. We'll get
Okay,
all that arranged.
well, let's start with that and we'll see where we go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank
for
you very much
coming in
for
and
your
thank-
time. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah. What's your phone number, Angela?
260-525-1380.
1380?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for working on
Yeah,
that.
thanks a lot. Ed, I know you got something.
Yes, thank you.
Angie was.
Couple things that I'd like to bring before you. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Ed.
And what's your? As we are continuing working on getting things a little more modernized for the treasurer's office. Two different things. The first, I'd like to say that we had our tax sale last week, 2 weeks. And we have 9 properties that did not sell. And I would make a recommendation that we go into a commissioner's certificate sale. And we talked about that a bit last week. I do have a contract from our SRI group, which is the group that does our tax sale. They also do certificate sales all around the state. And it is a standard contract. I've shown Mark everything. No fees at all to us. These fees, as is in the tax sale, all go to the buyers down the road. So if you're all right with that, we could proceed, or if you'd like to look it over for a week, that's fine. But this would be something we would do in the springtime. Talk to Joe Edwards, who heads up our part for the tax sale. He would like to do it after the ice and the snow and everything. So no set date necessarily, but they would like to get a contract so we can get scheduled for that.
Ed, we had set a minimum bid, I think, on those properties, didn't we?
I've heard different bids. I've heard $1, I've heard $100, I've heard
I
$500.
think, didn't we, Mark, we set that back at $100 minimum bid, I believe, didn't
I
we?
believe so.
Okay.
On that, but anyway, we don't have to talk about that part, but what do you gentlemen feel? I think we need to have that certificate sale.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a good way to end are not being paid taxes on, get it back on the tax.
Do we need a motion on that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and enter it into the minutes that we would approve that, yes.
I'd make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made to second, we go ahead and enter into the minutes that we will have a certificate sale at a later date.
Okay. And I do have contracts here if you guys would like to sign them.
We will do that.
Now, will those be put in the paper of the properties and stuff?
Yes, and the company does all that work.
Okay.
There's a lot of legalese that goes on in it. Here's 4 copies if you would.
Now, some of those properties, the back taxes are,
Horrendous.
yeah, so how does that work then?
They basically waive those taxes. We write them off because some of those properties are never going to be redeemed. And we're not gonna be able to get those taxes. So basically, we waive those taxes off, write them off. And it ends up that we take a short loss now, but we get the properties back on the tax rolls.
Some of those properties are unfixable. What happens if we don't get a bid on it and the county stuff it? Then what do we do?
You guys still own them. We could do them the next year, we could do them the following year. But that's very possible that there may be some that do not.
Okay, so then is there a liability there if there's buildings involved that's beside it and that building is deteriorating and the county owns it, then?
Now, the county only has you have a legal interest in the certificate. You don't have title unless you petition a court for a tax deed.
I was just
So-
curious how that worked.
I've not actually gone through one as
Yeah,
treasurer.
I
This
didn't know
will
either.
be my first one. In fact, we don't do it every year. We haven't done it for a couple of years prior. So I don't know when the last one was.
It's been a while.
The last one, 2017.
I'm sorry?
I think 2017.
2017, okay, so it's been a few years. And I would guess that every handful of years, we should do another one. You know, just get what properties we can back on the tax rolls. certificate sale?
2020
That would've been-
certificate sale property.
Tom would have done that, so I was not aware.
Yeah, we did one in 2020.
What year was that?
2017.
You said 2020, so we did one last year? Do you remember?
Only one sold out of the 7.
Okay.
I don't think we have any of that. Do we have any that have buildings on it?
We have one that has a building and I think one house. And you never know by putting this as a certificate sale that the current owners might pony up and pay those back taxes even though they haven't prior. I doubt that, but you never know. As your gentlemen are finishing that up, then, I also have another contract. This is from Value Payment Systems. I gave you guys a copy of the contract over the weekend, and this is my choice for payment processing services. We currently use a company called eGov. They're fine. We've really not had an issue with them. They don't do some of the things that I want to get done as far as different options for the Adams County Treasurer's Office. Value Payment Systems is a nationwide company that does a very, very good job with it. I gave all of you contracts. Mark has a copy of it. Tony has a copy of it already. They offer a quite advanced system that will be beneficial for our taxpayers. A lot of different options that I want to get into, including desktop kiosks, the little things like at Walmart, so we don't touch the credit cards, we don't see the numbers, we don't worry about any of the security, and Mike Brown really wants us to go that direction. We have a thing called IVR, so if somebody does a credit card over the phone, it goes to an automated system, and we don't take their credit card info at the office, at the desks. They also set up for a monthly payment system where the taxpayer would come in and if they're done, their house is paid off, they don't do escrow through a bank, they can do a monthly payment system just like the escrow. But the taxpayer sets that up. They get courtesy calls from these people or courtesy texts that say in 5 days, we're going to take X amount of dollars out of your account to pay for your monthly escrow thing. It's just modern things that we haven't done for years that I really feel we need to do. This company does it, zero charge to us, zero cost to us. They actually are matching the very same low rates that we had with eGov, and they are throwing in the 2 countertop kiosks at $500 a piece that the other companies wanted to charge us for. And I thought that's a little disingenuous on their part, but because we're going to get a lot of business. Last year would have been about $1.3 million in business. And I'm sure with all these different options, it will take off from there. And this could be a few $1 million of business that we'll do by credit cards and e-checks. So you guys have read through it?
I've got a change to that contract to
Okay.
make, so I don't know if we want to communicate that to them first and make sure they agree to that.
I would rather do that.
Yeah, I got a
make any
change to the
changes.
contract to make. They've got an automatic renewal provision in here. There's a 3-year contract and then it automatically renews. And we always strike that out. We don't like the automatic renewal because then we end up with contracts that are rolling forward for 3 years, 3 years at a time, 3 years at a time. And at the end, I'm not opposed to a 3-year term initially, but we don't want automatic renewals for successive 3-year terms.
So
So
would that be a 1 year?
after
After the first
After the
3?
3 years, then the contract would automatically terminate unless the county renews. And that's their clue and our clue to relook at it again and decide, are we going to go forward? Chances are we would.
Right,
But we don't like it to just automatically renew, especially not for successive 3-year terms.
okay.
So if you forward the contact information to me for the person at
Yes.
Value Payment Systems,
Yes.
I'll reach out to them and tell them it looks like it's okay,
Okay.
except for that provision. I'll probably have them revise it and send it to us.
I have the number up at the office,
Okay.
so I'll get that to you.
Perfect.
If
And I've got, do you
I
want
think I
this?
have it here.
Do you need
So
this one?
we'll just table that until Mark has a
Okay.
chance to look at it.
So,
Yeah.
I think I actually have her number right here.
Okay, good. And then we'll need to notify eGov that we're going to end that contract, and it's got a, I think a 30 or 60-day notice to terminate, which will.
30-day notice.
30 days,
and,
so we'll notify them.
I must have that upstairs, Mark, I'll get that.
Okay.
But that's all I have, then, gentlemen. We've been busy upstairs, everything's going well.
You probably need it, right?
Yes, I better get back up to work.
Well, thanks a lot, Ed. We'll go ahead and table this until Mark has a chance.
Got it.
As soon as we get that cleared up, we'll go ahead and, make our decision. Yeah, thanks a lot, sir. Appreciate it.
See you, Ed.
Yeah.
Shannon up here. Shannon, you are up.
And then John, these, Steve asked for one, so I just brought them for each of you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So a couple of things today. The first thing is that we had a resignation in soil and water for the assistant conservationist position. That's Josie Khan. Her last day is going to be Thursday, November 18th, which is next week, I believe. So assuming that you guys want to fill that position, I need permission to post it online and get it up on the boards.
I don't think we've ever done that since I've been a commissioner to fill that.
I don't know.
I don't remember that one.
I talked to Sandy yesterday, we had a good
She wants to
conversation.
fill it, I'm sure.
Yeah, Sandy, I talked to Sandy
Oh,
this
did you?
morning. She called me and filled me in. And Sandy requested that we would wait a week to 10 days before we do anything because everybody that sits on that board is farmers
Okay.
and everybody's in the field right now, so it'd be hard. And she asked if we'd wait a week or 10 days before we would do anything.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So they're gonna look at the job description, everybody on the board, just to make sure that it's up to date. I think that's a good practice when we have an opening. So they're gonna work on that for me, and then once she contacts me and says that, yes, the job description has been good to go for the board, if there's any changes, I'll bring it to you guys. But if there's not, I'll just get it posted.
She acted like she was comfortable with it, but she would just like for everybody to be able to go through it. So-
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that as soon as she contacts me, as long as you guys are okay with it, I'll just get it online if there's no
Okay.
changes to it. I don't wanna have to wait till the next Tuesday if I can
Right.
avoid it, but if I have to, that's okay too. And we talked yesterday, and our target date to have somebody start is in the new year. So we kinda know that it's gonna take time to get somebody interviewed, then the holidays come, and so we're kinda looking at the first week of January, and she said she'd be okay till then, so.
Okay, that sounds like a plan on that one then.
Okay, we had a cell phone for the nurse manager position that is still at Golden Meadows. Kendra turned it over when she left, so I don't know if y'all's intention is to turn that over to the new nurse manager who started last Monday. I think that having the phone for the position is appropriate, and if it's already there, it's just a matter of whether we want to, get it hooked up or not.
I think it would be still appropriate.
So I'll work
That's
with
my
Mike.
feeling anyway. Sandy, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it sounds necessary and appropriate, yeah.
Me too. Okay, so I'll work with
Yeah,
Mike to get that
yeah.
hooked up. The hours survey that I sent out to you guys last week, I made a couple of changes in red. I don't know if you are ready for me to send that out to collect that data, or if we need more discussion on that. Do you have any questions?
I'm not ready to make a decision today.
Okay.
I want to give some more thought to it.
Okay.
That's my feeling. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'm okay. How quick, how urgent is this to get?
It's gotta be done by the end of the year.
Yeah,
In a perfect
Okay.
world, we would have to make a change, before timekeeping is rolled out for the whole county, which right now is scheduled for December 25th.
I'm comfortable with it, so whatever you guys decide.
So would you be okay if we gave it another week? Would that still be on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, keep in mind that we'll be accruing that time, which we're trying to limit. I've worked with Brad, we talked about it a little bit, and, we're trying to do what we can in the meantime, because if the decision is the same, then, we'll have to make a workaround for it. But yeah, absolutely, we can talk about it next week.
As far as the survey, what is it that you're uncomfortable with? Anything in particular? Or just want to give some other options, or what's your thoughts on?
I'm not comfortable with it right now.
Okay. And then I know we kind of left it up in the air, and this one's kind of my fault, but the timekeeping policy that I sent to you guys a couple weeks ago, we sat in here after hours one day and we kind of updated it, and I took all the colors off of it, and then I sent it back to you guys. Are we ready to approve that? I know that was a while ago, so if we need a week to review it. that's fine.
Yeah, let's review that.
Okay. And I can send it again, but my goal effective date for that is gonna be December 25th, which is when we would be countywide with timekeeping.
Okay,
You're gonna resend that to us then?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, that'd be fine.
I know that one's my bad, I forgot to bring it up. And just as an update on timekeeping, we have the service complex and the whole highway on timekeeping. We were not successful at processing our first payroll with the service complex departments because we had some voucher issues that we didn't know until we went to go run them. So we worked through those, and then we are planning to try to import all the time like we normally would for both all the service complex departments and the highway. So I'm gonna go down to highway tomorrow, and then Bree and I will likely go down next week to sit with them and, go through that process with them.
Okay.
So we're moving along, and then sheriff's department is gonna start to punch on Monday. So I'll be down there today and tomorrow to talk about training and things like that. So they're gonna get up and rolling here soon too. We're moving right along.
Okay,
And we do have a full-time opening at the highway department for a maintenance worker. We are gonna offer that position to Randy Deegitz. She's a part-time flagger right now, and her official start date is gonna be 11/13/2021. That was the one that we talked about the day that we had to go downstairs into the 125 room. I got permission to post that day, so we got that one filled. And we have 2 employees right now who have their FMLA expired, and they're on the 14-week leave of absence. One of them has already been paid the biweekly pay, but the other one has not received the biweekly pay yet. I should have asked for it last week, but I forgot about it. Their time expired last pay period, so I'm asking permission to pay that to that employee in the sheriff's department for the first time.
okay. Any questions on it, gentlemen?
I'd make that motion to approve.
And that's that one-time payment in 5
Yeah.
years?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion's been made, seconded, and we'll go ahead and approve that, Shannon.
Okay, and we did get a code for that, just for y'all's knowledge. So in the future, in timekeeping, we'll have a code that's got, it states biweekly pay, so that I could run a report and show you everybody that's been paid that in the last year or 6 months, or whatever the case may be. So we'll have like a good official tracking system once we get up and going on timekeeping. And that's all I have.
Okay,
Thanks very
very
much.
good. All right, Mark.
I sent a proposed animal shelter agreement out to you last week for review, and I also sent it to the Heisers. I received an email back from them that it's, contract's acceptable to them. And so I guess at this point, the question is, are you ready to sign a contract so that they can get that facility under construction?
I am.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions on it. It covered pretty much what we covered before, so.
Okay, so I have
I'm
the
okay with it.
contract.
As long as you corrected what I asked you to.
I did. I did.
All right.
I keep misspelling Steve's name. I keep putting an E at the end.
Not C-O-O-N-S.
I have it correct.
You can't spell his, but you can spell Stoppenhagen?
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't mess that up.
Uh,
Anyway, I've got the contract, and they had asked for an 8-year term. That was negotiated to a 5-year term. Cost is $45,000 per year. We covered in there the adoption fees and items to be paid by the county, everything else to be, and everything to be paid by the contractor. So it's pretty straightforward. Any fees that they collect for sheltering animals, for animals that are claimed by the owner, comes back to the county. And that's pretty much it. It's all in there, so.
Oh, yeah, I thought it looked good.
The other thing too, Mark presented it to the Animal Shelter Task Force last night and everybody was okay with it, so.
They did have some expense, with the septic system. Took some time to get that worked out, and that's been cleared, so they can get a septic system in there and begin construction, it looks like. So just need a motion to approve the contract.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. We go to the Adams County Animal Shelter contract. Motion carries.
The only other item we have is, we had a recommendation from the Plan Commission following their rezoning hearing, and, which was recommended to the commissioner as a recommendation to pass that rezoning. And I looked at that here in the code. We actually need to adopt that in the form of an ordinance, and I need to have a legal description. And so I need to get that from the attorney for the Plan Commission and put that into an ordinance. And so we'll put that on the agenda for next week. You've got 90 days to vote up and down on that, but it needs to be done in the form of an ordinance, and I need a legal description because the zone maps have to be updated. So we'll bring that back to you next week.
You know,
And then that rezones from ag to residential.
R3, which
R3.
includes a mobile home park. That's all I have. Got several contracts to look through here. We did get something that Christie brought this morning, which is a agreement between the county and Association of Indiana Counties. And they have a tax refund exchange and compliance system. So I just got this here this morning. I've gone through it. I still need to look at it some more. But basically, it's a contract between the county. They indicate that they've contracted, at least so far, with 21 other counties, some schools, some cities. This is a system which it's through Association of Indiana Counties, from what I can tell, and that's who the contract is with. And they have worked with the National Association of Indiana Counties to put this system in place. Basically, if there are any sums that are due and owing to a county or a unit of government, you can certify the amount that you're owed to this tax refund exchange and compliance system, TRECS, to the Association of Indiana Counties. They have an agreement with Indiana Department of Revenue, and then they match up the data and they basically intercept, or they deduct the money that is owed to the county or to the municipal governmental entity from any state of Indiana income tax refund that individual is to receive. And then they add a $20 fee to it that's paid by them. The county then would collect your money in full, and the fees would be paid by the individual, and it comes out of any tax refund that they're due. It can also come out of any lottery winnings that they're entitled to, which is interesting. So I still need to look through this contract a little bit closer. Like I said, I just got it. I don't know if that's something that we would utilize. I really want, I guess, Bree and take a look at it. I don't know how we would. You need to look at it because I think it requires, some considerable work on our end. Have you heard about this thing at all?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
So it's basically a collection service?
It's a collection
It's a
program.
collection service. I haven't looked into it that far, but I have looked at it. I believe Jack Odell's the one that sent it to me and Tony.
Okay.
But yeah, I skimmed over, yeah, I think it's work on our end.
Yep.
okay.
That's it.
Is that it? Sheriff, you gave us a report, jail inspection report. Anything you want to comment on that for us?
No, it's just something I'm required to by code to give to you, the council, the two judges and the clerk's office. If you overheard at the council meeting, we have no issues whatsoever. It's just a report for your value perusing sometime. You'd like to look at a bunch of stuff. But they go over all aspects of the jail, temperatures, cleanliness, our diet, any past complaints, suicides, all that type of stuff is reported, done every year. But we have no issues whatsoever.
Good, good.
And if you have questions over it later, you can always email, call, and I will explain anything if you have questions, but it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, we'll take a look it over.
This has nothing to do with us taking federal
No,
prisoners.
nope. This is done every year.
Okay.
The council brought up one question. You look on page 2 about our audit, it shows 2/1 of 19, it's in red. That's due to the fact that 20, because of COVID, they didn't do the audit. We did 20 and 21 this year, and we're fine. But it just shows that it's in red because it looks like we missed a year. Well, we did, but we got it all caught up this year.
Right, right.
Any questions?
We'll look it over.
All right. Thank you, John. That's it.
Thank you very
Thank you for a
much.
good report.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Okay. Anything else from the general public? If not, any things to be brought up? Which one you got there? Oh, yeah, we gotta, we'll approve that. Yeah, we better approve that. Sam. You wanna bring it up? No, if you wanna bring that claim up, we'll go ahead and approve that.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Comes out of the secondary circuit.
Okay. All right, we've got an invoice from the Wired Communications for materials as quoted on 7/30/2020 for Adams County Government Sheriff's Department. And then labor is quoted on 7/30/20 for Adams County Government Sheriff's Department. Materials, $17,500. Labor, $24,318.75, for a total of $41,818.75. So that would be towards the secondary circuit, and then I would make a motion that we would approve that and pay it out of the secondary circuit fund.
That's about 50% of what is actually due. Once they finish the job, we'll have another invoice
Okay.
coming through. Okay. Give me that up. Okay, you made a motion on that. Steve, you second that?
Oh, second, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Wired Communications, invoice $41,818.75. Motion's been made and seconded. We'll go ahead and pay it. We'll have Mike submit this claim.
Okay.
I didn't hear
Oh, I made it real quiet.
you. You did, because I didn't hear.
Yeah, anything else? Nothing? Okay, guys. Motion to adjourn?
So nothing, we don't have to approve that then?
No, not
Okay.
on that. We don't.
Gotcha.
No, just before you go, we just want to take and wish you all a happy Thanksgiving coming up, Veterans Day, and we appreciate, Steve, you serving in the armed forces, so we appreciate that. Also, I think congratulations to Adams Central, South Adams, and winning their sectionals. They will meet in a regional, so we will have a regional representative, and also to the Belmont, the girls volleyball team did really quite well. They came in runner-up, but I'll tell you, they lost the first 2 game sets, and boy, they came back and won the next 2. Almost pulled it out, but they had a great season, so, yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, adjourn?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Second, thank you.